point, Anmol Power. Shazia is correct when she says that if this was genuinely autocracy, dictatorship in the way that you're projecting, surely 14 days before the elections when campaigning is still left, he wouldn't have got bail. 25th is when Delhi goes to the polls. There would have been no bail for Kejriwal if India was genuinely an autocracy.
Rahul, then why is it that the enforcement directorate, which is working at their behest, is not taking any action against the 25 Narendra Modi certified corrupt leaders for whom he himself rolled the red carpets and they have been given tickets to contest Lok Sabha elections, some are in Rajya Sabha. Ma'am, please allow me to complete. Please allow me to complete. The fact is that they are afraid of the Delhi model of governance, which will triumph over BJP's conspiracy this time. Because this election now has become people of the collective will and aspirations of people of Delhi versus the maha-corrupt and inefficient BJP government. They are afraid, they are deflecting from real issues. You initially said that this election is about Modi's charisma. I disagree, Rahul. This election is about real issues. This election is about the unemployment, which is at an all-time high since last 45 years. This election is about the farmers. More than 750 farmers laid down their lives. They were promised in 2014 that MSP will be granted to them. What happened to that promise? Narendra Modi ji himself tweeted it. Till date, since last 10 years, they have not been granted MSP. And this election is about the price rise. This election is about women's safety. Their own leaders are languishing behind bars. Their own MLAs are behind bars in rape cases. They did not take any action against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. And there's a long list of such leaders. So this election is about real issues and people are willing to give them
but it really, once again, you're making a rhetorical point. I'm trying to stick to the data. Yashwant Deshmukh, by your estimate, what percentage of voters in a state like Delhi are undecided swing voters? Given that we're about 2 weeks away from polling in Delhi, what percentage are swing voters who can now look at this and decide where to go, based on past polls that you've done?
The average is approximately 15%, I mean, not more than that. But looking at Delhi, what we have seen historically, Rahul, is that the anti-Congress or anti-BJP, the two blocks over there have been historically around 40% each, and the 20% block which has been swinging this way and that way, as you just mentioned. So, yeah, I mean, the number of undecided as such in highly polarized, politically polarized atmosphere is very less. It's about the relative turnout, Rahul, whether he is successful in enthusing his cadre, his own people, anti-BJP vote to come out and vote, or BJP.
No, but there's one very big difference. If this had been a state like Odisha or Jharkhand, I would have said it takes much longer, Ashutosh, to build a campaign. Explain why you think Delhi is unique, because it's such an urban pocket. Messages can spread fast. Things can change in 48 hours, 72 hours. It's not like coastal Odisha or Jharkhand, where it's much tougher to get your message across. Good or bad, messages can fly in Delhi faster than they can elsewhere.
See, Rahul, if I had been in BJP now, I would have been a worried person for the simple reason, because Delhi is a very, very unique case for two reasons. One case is that the Delhi voters there's a lot of volatility in the Delhi voters. And no reason that in parliamentary election in 2019, Aam Aadmi vote share comes down to 18% and suddenly gets a 300% jump within few months and goes to 54% vote share in the assembly elections. And similarly, there is an 18% drop from the BJP vote share from 56% to 38%. So this volatility shows that there is only 32 to 34% of vote share, which is very committed BJP voters. Rest of the voters are not, and that's why I'm figuring it out because of the assembly polls. Because in assembly polls, BJP last time has got 38% vote share, and in 2014 they got 22% vote share. Now the issue is that Aam Aadmi Party has failed to open accounts in Delhi for the simple reason because Aam Aadmi Party has never been considered in Delhi as a national player who could challenge Modi or who could form the government at the center. And that is why in 2019 parliamentary election, it is the Congress party who gets the number 2 seat. And the same Congress party who gets number 2, 24% vote share in assembly election, from 24% the vote share suddenly drops to 4%, a drop of 20%. So today, if Aam Aadmi Party is aligned with the Congress party and the message is that they can be an alternative to the BJP, then the same voter who had given up on the BJP, on Aam Aadmi Party in 2019 parliamentary election, suddenly will find a boost, will think that yes, if I'm aligned with the BJP, with the Congress party, then there is a possibility of Modi defeating. Don't forget it. In 2014 parliamentary election, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress combined vote share were 48%. Whereas in parliament election, it was something around 41% vote share. So there is a solid 41% anti-BJP vote. So that means there are other floating voters. If they combine and they feel that the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress is in a position to defeat, then the BJP has something to lose.
Okay, so let me explain that through data. I just showed you how 18% of the voters are swing voters. So let's now map 3 scenarios. If these swing voters actually move away from the BJP, to the AAP India alliance, then what happens? So if there is no sympathy for AAP and if things stay the way they were, then the tally stays like it was the actual tally of 2019, where the BJP wins all 7 seats. If the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress gets about 1/3 of the swing voters, then the tally becomes 5 and 2, so which means 6% of the swing voters come to them, because they're totally 18%. So if 6% come, then the tally is 5-2. If half the swing voters, which is 9, come to AAP and Congress, then the tally becomes India Alliance 5, BJP 2. If AAP and Congress get 2/3 of the swing voters, which is 12% out of the 18, then the AAP and the Congress win all 7 seats. So it can really go from no sympathy to 2/3 sympathy, 7 for India Alliance versus 7 for the BJP. Now the question really is there sympathy? And that's, so sympathy is also of 2 kinds. One is latent underlying sympathy, so you feel, ha yaar, galat hua, not right. One is you're so sympathetic that you change your intent to vote. That, yeah, I was actually planning to vote for BJP and Modi, but I'm sympathetic because of what ED and BJP did. Therefore, I now switch to India Alliance and Congress. If there is that kind of sympathy which leads to transfer of vote, then it's different. The other perspective is that maybe there is just underlying sympathy right now which doesn't translate into transfer, but it translates into transfer in the assembly context. Are you getting what I'm saying? If it transfers into a change in voting pattern, they could wait for the 2025 assembly election कि तब देंगे यार, अभी तो मोदी जी का election, अभी मोदी जी को देते, assembly में बताएंगे. So all that can happen now.